Welcome back, everyone. Today we are back with more of a standard program. As you can see, I am back in WARNO Ranked, or rather I was, because this is obviously a cast and not played live. The game has actually been played like 2 weeks ago or something, and we are on the good old 2 lakes on the good side, playing 27Y against 82nd Airborne. Meaning that the good side actually doesn't even give us that much. Well, me. I am playing, not you. But yeah, it doesn't give me that much because obviously 82nd Airborne, everything's forward deployed, so he will get everywhere faster. I don't know whether, like, technically speaking, I could use my Spetsrazvedka, or however it's called, the GSR Recon Infantry Squad, to try to still rush into Olga. Because I maybe still could get like into those buildings in time. But that would still be pretty cocky and wild as 27Y. Because, well, why did I even play it? The thing is, I don't think this division is like super good or something. But I think that if you survive the early game and don't take too many losses, this division is an absolute late game powerhouse. And I mean, it's not like I'm the only one who thinks it. I would say that this is something most people agree about. But that's also why I didn't want to do some sort of early aggression play, because why would I? Especially 82nd Airborne, as I've also said in my tier list, it's not a very good division. It's honestly one of the worst divisions in the whole game. On the other hand, though, in this matchup, it's not the worst for 82nd Airborne, because like one of the biggest problems of it is that you get a bunch of TOW2s, which are super expensive and limited in numbers, against divisions that can spam cheap fire support, and 27Y doesn't get as much of it. It still gets, I mean, depending on how you build it, you can actually also spam cheap fire support. I don't have it built like that because it would feel a bit weird. I just have like one card of the BMP2 AGs, and then the Motostroki Metis in the BTR 80s, and that's basically about it. For the vehicle light support category, well, I still have the BTR 80s also in the recon tab. But overall, mostly it's BMP3s and T80BVs. So the TOW2s there aren't the worst, but you obviously still have the problem of your infantry being pretty mediocre for a division that is supposed to rely on the infantry, and your air tab is kind of garbage, where, again, your air tab relies on AT planes and lacks HE power, which isn't the worst if you're facing 27Y, which has a lot of vehicles that you can kill. So, yeah, it's not the worst matchup for 82nd, but it's still, the division is still just shit. It doesn't suddenly get good. But yeah, so either way, I decided to not like feed into him, because that's how people lose against airborne divisions normally. They feed into the opener and get smacked off the map, and then it takes them too long to come back. So just slow and steady and play a standard game and grind my way back into it, pretty much. Just accepting that I will be behind early on, because that's how it is if you play against airborne. You can also see that I'm deploying like super heavily on the right hand side, and only 2 BRM1s to the left and to the, I mean, this is basically the center of the map, but still the left and center. And then 2 Spetsrazvedka for the right side, so one is going into this area here, pretty standard, and then one Spetsrazvedka is going into this forest, because, as we know from the Skiffic video, my opponent gets to this forest line before I get there. So I decided to just start deploying defensively into this area instead of trying to go aggressively for here, because I know that I won't get in there, with Motostroki BMP2 following up there as well, to be there a bit earlier than my standard troops would be. And then for the stranded troops, I have 2 Saperi RPO, Motostroki Command going for the captures, obviously, 2 Motostroki in the BMP2 AGs, 2 Motostroki with the Metis in the BTRs. Then we have, I'm not sure what I want to say. I have, hard to decide. But either way, 1 Conquerors, 1 Grenade Launcher, and 2 Iglas going up as well, and the Tunguska, in case he does some early helicopter plays. 82nd doesn't have the most helicopters, but it still can do quite heavy helicopter plays. And yeah, the Plamia and the Conquerors going defensively to the left side here, so that he can't just walk into this area. That's what the Great Launcher is for, and the Conquerors obviously to fight off the fire support he has. He doesn't have a lot of it, but the LAVs are forward deployed, so they can get to the front line very quickly. And the Sheridans, like, while not the best at fighting other vehicles, they are actually pretty, like, extremely good fire support. And here he actually already has a TOW 2 in there. It's a Humvee TOW 2, so he snipes one of my Motostrelki Metis, which is pretty annoying because that means that I'm also losing a BTR 80, which, you know, costs 35 points. They are very expensive, but they are also very good because they have 2 front armor and smoke, and well, standard BTR armament. And here I lose the Tunguska because I thought that the TOW 2 was going for the BMP2s and lost track, but it actually was going for the Tunguska and killed it, which was pretty bad, because now the only air defense I have left here are 2 Iglas, which, I mean, it's not the worst, but also not super good. And yeah, the Humvee TOWs here were really fucking me up. I didn't think about the fact that the Humvee TOWs are also forward deployed, so that was my mistake. BMP2s though get rid of one of them, and the Metas got rid of the other one, so 2 of them already down. F-16, I think this was, or was it the F-15? Not sure, came in. I think it was tapped by the Igla, so it was forced to retreat. And you can see he's at the +4 tick now because I also didn't have points for a command for the left-hand side for the opener. I'm deploying it right now. I was also a bit slow on microing my command into the town. Guessing the F-16 OGB actually to kill one of the Saperi RPO. But yeah, so I'm behind in tick, but it's not that much of an issue. I know that I will be able to contest this area pretty soon. I mean, I've taken a few losses, like the Saperi RPO loss was also kind of painful, but I mean, I know that he had to spend like over a minute's worth of income for the LGB to kill one Saperi RPO that costs 50 points. Okay, yeah, sure, bro, whatever. The VATS here would be good if he would be fighting an infantry division, but obviously against a mechanized division, this thing is borderline useless. And yeah, you can see I have pretty much already retaken the town. The Great Launcher on the left-hand side has died to something. I don't know whether there was a sniper there or whatever. But yeah, I mean, that's... I pretty much already pushed him out of here. Now a BMP3 also coming in. His airborne leader here is being fire supported down by... what is it, like... 7 units. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually 6 units, sorry. Yeah, it's straight up not having a good time. No, wait, it's 1, 2, 3. It was 7. Yeah, I was right. It could have gotten a kill on the BTR, but it wasn't able to do so. F-16 AT wastes its missile on the BTR and misses, then gets tapped by the Iglas and has to retreat. Another Igla coming in, but also Strela 10M3 as a more as heavier air defense. Those Strela 10M3s are invaluable because they have very good range. More accuracy than a standard Strela 10M. Don't know whether the standard Strela 10M also has 5 damage. It might, so it might even have 1 more damage. And it's not seatable, obviously, because it's infrared AA, sorry. Here the Kiowa Warrior unfortunately gets a snipe on the BMP3. I thought it was out of line of sight, but apparently it wasn't, so very good kill from the Kiowa. And just, well, a skill issue by me because I thought it was out of line of sight, but well, it wasn't. So I'm retweeting the whole blob of fire support I have here because I don't want to lose it. Like, that would be super dumb. This is pretty much my way to win the game. And if I start losing it unnecessarily, that's my way to lose the game. And considering that I have already completely thwarted his early aggression, that means that I'm already in a exceptionally good position, actually. He didn't even get 400 points ahead. And this is one of the maps that ticks fairly quickly if you take the back zones. And the good thing is that my side isn't only good because I get into Olga very quickly, it's also that if I have Elena, or Emma, sorry, which is obviously supposed to be my sector, so I'm supposed to have it, like pushing to Leonid isn't that far, actually. On the other hand, if I play from the other side, I always try to push into Emma as well, and then to push from Emma to Anna. And I mean, look at this distance, and look at this distance. And on the other side, this distance is also very, very far. So yeah, here the BRM, unfortunately, drove out of cover because there was a flame here. It also did kill a unit, I think, but yeah, the flames forced it out, and so it got killed by the LGB. I did also call in a Tor, but then it instantly got sniped by a Seed. But that didn't even matter that much because the Seed then instantly got sniped by the infrared AA that I have a plethora of here now, so 3 Eagles and a Strela 10 round 3. Killed a Seed and hit the LGB, so it will be out for repair for quite a time. Also starting to call in artillery because, I mean, well, this has already now become a stalemate, and I know that 82nd pretty much doesn't have any pushing power left now, 7 minutes into the game, or 6 minutes rather. And also, they obviously don't have any heavy artillery, so this is the big advantage I have on top of the fire support advantage I have. So I might as well try to use it as early as I can. Second howitzer now on the way. You know that I like to use both howitzers at the same time. It just... The thing is, it doesn't make it twice as effective. It makes it more like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times more effective. Because if you get a double hit with the artillery, you can stun, for example, a tank and thus force it to stay in place longer and do like exponentially more damage than if you only would have one howitzer. Because obviously you can't get a double hit with one howitzer. So if your enemy micros a tank, they have a good chance of getting out of the line of fire after the first shot. Well, yeah, if you have a double howitzer, obviously getting a double tap first with the first volley is pretty likely. So that's why I like to use 2 of them. This obviously works better with the heavy howitzers, so the M110s or the Malkas of KDA. It also technically works with the Piova of the Descent Corpus Desantovi, but the division in general is just shit, so that doesn't really matter that much. I try to push the Motra Zvetka here through the forest to see what's going on further into his line, but find 2 fire teams, which, I mean, on their own, they aren't that good. He takes them double vet, which is a good idea. I mean, they're okay, and 2v1 they would have won. The advantage of them is just that they're cheap. But, well, I just retreated and then I fire supported down one of the fire teams, so yeah, now he's in a very bad position. Yeah, the ATGM duel my BMP2 fired later, so I decided to smoke it off and just kill the Humvee off with artillery. He does retreat it though, which is a very good idea by him. Probably predicting that I will have artillery, and I mean, yeah, that is true. I already do have artillery. Also, TADBV has already come in. And you know that I think that it's complete cope to say that TADBV is shit. I do agree that it is not the best, like, 1v1 brawler, but, like, that's not the point of the tank. It's not supposed to be a 1v1 brawler. It has the ATGM for a reason, like... And for 365 points, it's honestly fine. Like again, you have to use tools in the role they are supposed to be used at. A Leo 2 is a brawler, so it's good at that, or an M1A1. TADBV isn't. It has the advantage that it can fight ATGM carriers at the same range, which is a pretty big advantage. Because not having to drive in, like, what is it, 400 meters extra or something, or like 350, that's pretty important, and I don't understand people that say that that's unimportant. Like, that's just cope. Again, nobody's saying that the TADBV is like the best tank in the game, but saying it's the worst is also just dumb. Like, I'm sorry, or that it's unusable. If it's unusable, that's just a skill issue, like, I'm sorry to say. You can also see that I have started reinforcing the left-hand side with Iglas, and also I put in a command infantry just in case, so he doesn't get a full cap on the sector if he tries to get in there. Still, you know, traumatized from the one game where my enemy snuck in a helicopter CV into my back zone on 2 legs, and I really don't want this to happen again. So, you know, just having... I mean, I think it would have been better to have the Igla in here as well. Probably to have 2 Iglas here, because the position here isn't the most important. But, you know, tomatoes. Enemy starts mortaring, or, well, smoke mortaring my firing line here, which is a pretty decent idea. But the problem is that, well, I have artillery up already, and so I start counter-battering his mortars instantly. Would have been more efficient to split up the barrage between the both mortars, So that wasn't optimally done by me, because I know that 82nd can't have any mechanized mortars, though here I'm lucky and it actually scatters far enough to kill the other mortar as well. But yeah, definitely not optimally managed by me. And you can see for the moment, like, I'm just building up my force. I'm slowly pushing into the forest here, but the superior RPO have run out of RPO, which is not that good, because, I mean, in this case, like, double weight airborne are actually pretty decent. The problem is just that with double weight airborne, you will run out of them pretty quickly. But you can see that they are actually decent then if you have them double weight. Here the MTLB like parked in a one spot where it was visible for the TOW2 there, so yay, I guess. BTR-80 here was also spotted by something, so put the artillery on the ATGM that fired there. And yeah, here I started to retreat my vehicles because I saw that I wouldn't be able to hold the airborne in place here. The airborne have 84, so they are actually pretty good at killing vehicles in close range. The problem is just that you never get to do that. Well, in this case, this would have been one of the few cases, or one of the rare cases where they would have been able to do that, because it would have been in a forest. So I retreated them, but then I lose both the BMP-2 AGs to the TOW2. I do kill it off, and I keep the Recon BMP-2 alive, so it's not the worst trade, but it's also not the best one. BMP-2 AG also driving forward for like no reason, because it's now pretty much completely on its own. I am retreating the infantry though, and yeah, the BMP-2 AG just gets slapped by the Kiowa Warrior. Kiowa Warrior, a very, very good little helicopter. I didn't really underestimate it, I just thought that it wasn't really cost efficient at 120 points. But I just always keep forgetting how unbelievably fast this goddamn Hellfire is. So if you micro that well, or your enemy doesn't micro well like I did in this case, you can get a lot of value out of it. Here I started moving my infantry forward because I assumed that, you know, there was a, like, not heavy, but a lot of investment into the forest here, and then the ATGM carriers and the Kiowa Warrior and the mortars. So I thought that this area should be fairly undefended, but then there's one 40mm grenade launcher here that has some engagement angles towards the infantry here, which I didn't even know about. So my infantry is getting pushed back actually. Do spot the TOW2 in the standard tower here. So of course, again, put the artillery on the job, which is, yeah, pretty much how you're supposed to play this match. Also deployed an Igla, by the way, on the right side in my back zone, though didn't put it in the building yet. So that's not good, but yeah, just the same logic as on the left-hand side to prevent some funny helicopter action from him. Obviously, if he goes for like a heavy helicopter play, then one Igla won't be enough, but if he goes for a heavy helicopter play, then his front line will be completely empty, so I will just be able to push through there. Spot a Stinger and an Airborne Scout in the building here, but unfortunately only the BRM and the Grenade Launcher firing at them for now, and the Grenade Launcher is very stunned, so isn't hitting that much. Meaning that the damage output here was pretty low. I do think that I will stop moving my artillery now, because yeah, I remember that, you know, he doesn't have anything to counter battery me with. F111 cluster comes in, does kill a BRM-1, and doesn't get hit. The other cluster comes in, and don't even know whether it killed anything, and it survives as well. So he was kind of lucky to survive here, I think, considering I have 2 Strela 1003s though. This one might have had a little bit of a scuffed line of sight because it's parked behind a building, probably. But yeah, 2 Strela 1003s and like, what is it, 3 Iglas or something? Actually, I should have been able to shoot down at least one of them. I mean, he didn't get the greatest of value from them, but on the other hand, killing a BRM-1 is still, honestly, pretty impactful. Because it's an exceptional recon vehicle, and the recon tab of 27 YA is pretty expensive, like slot cost wise. But obviously, it's actually not worth the risk, because he should have been shot down, but he survived, so it actually was kind of worth it. But yeah, as I said, I'm just keeping my cool. Slowly building up the fire support ball. Lost a few infantry here unnecessarily, but yeah, it's whatever. I just don't want to push forward all the BMP-3s here unless I'm like super sure that this area is free of ATGMs. because the TOW2s can one-shot pretty much everything I have except for the T80 BV. I'm pretty sure they will one-shot the BMP3s as well. Yeah, they will. From the front. So I wanted to get a Spetsnaz in a little bit further forward and see what's going on there. Finally put the Igla in the building here. Left hand side is looking pretty quiet. And, well, yeah, the defenses here are okay against 82nd, because it's at least pretty unlikely that he will just bunch up a bunch of LAVs and Sheridans and then drive through here. Which then the defenses wouldn't be adequate, but for what he has, it should be good enough to at least hold him back for a second or two. Maybe even 3, and then get more reinforcements in. Buying in a fighter now as well, because I thought that, you know, I mean, he obviously will air spam me, so maybe it would be actually not that dumb to have a fighter ready for that. His artillery is now firing at my Spetsnaz, which is rather annoying. But again, because I know that he doesn't have any mechanized or motorized artillery, well, no, it is motorized technically, I think, but not anything, any mechanized artillery, I instantly try to counter battery him, in the hopes that the counter battery would come in fast enough so that I could kill him. Or I just have a bunch of Saperi RPO deployed in the forest here to just wreck him, because he doesn't have anything that can contend with them. Except if he takes the engineer flashes, which are pretty bad just because they are only 5 men, and this is just pain. My grenade launcher here engaging his grenade launcher, but his grenade launcher gets free vet and has the building, so yeah, he wins. And he doesn't even kill me, so that was rather unfortunate. But I have a big bunch of infantry deployed here now, together with the T80 BV and obviously older BMPs in support. And I'm just moving them over the open here, because I assumed that most of his defenses would be concentrated around here, here, and here. And yeah, you can see the infantry is literally just moving forward and nothing stopping them. Still keeping the fire support a little bit further back so that they don't get instantly killed, but now I'm starting to move them forward a little bit. He is trying to get helicopters in on the far right, over the water, to shoot into the forest patch, or into the forest line, which makes a lot of sense. Either gets one shot off and hits, the second one misses unfortunately, which is rather unlucky considering this is this is a Cobra, so no ECM. Strat number 3 unfortunately was a little bit too late, so didn't get into position in time. Trying to get a Conquest into this position as well to be able to deal with the ATGM carriers that he wants to put into those forest lines here. And yeah, here I'm just driving forward. The BTR-80 is kind of like being used as bait to see whether something fires at it. And there was an ATGM coming from the left-hand side somewhere. And there is actually an ATGM somewhere in here, which I can't see. I guess maybe because it's further back or something. Interesting, because I mean this is a Spetsnaz with GSR. So one of the BMP3s here dies unfortunately to the ATGM side shot. I mean, I guess I don't see it. Ah, it was behind here, I see. Ah, that's why I didn't see it. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, losing 2 BMP3 is obviously unfortunate. F-16 comes in, misses the T-80. Other F-16 AT comes in and hits the BMP2. T-80 BV gets hit by something, though I think it faces front armor. BMP2 now also going down to the plane. T-80 does the smoke off. AA was too far back, so the Strat 3 here should have been way further to the front line. The Iglas did get a few hits, but not enough. The MiG-23 wasn't called in because I was like very slow on my micro. F-16 comes in again, but misses the T-80 and now finally goes down after flying over like another Strat 3 and an Igla. F-111 cluster though comes in to kill off the blob here and actually does get a very good connection, killing off a T-80 BV and 2 BMP3s. Dies in return, but this is like one of the only times where the F-111 cluster gets a lot of value. And this was also just a mistake by me, because like I knew that he had the F-111 cluster, so I just should have spread out my fire support a lot more. But yeah, I was just a bit lazy, and that wasn't very nice. But the thing is, he has invested so much into air that the ground here is pretty much completely open. Like, okay, sure, he has killed all my fire support, but I don't even need it because there's nothing to fire support down here. Seed comes in, tries to get the Mi-24, but doesn't kill it. LGB gets hit by something and then killed by the MiG-23s. I bought the second one and now finally did call him in. So I do get the kill on the seat and the LGB, and yeah, that's like, what is it, like 600 points or something down. Trying to turn into the F-15, but it was a little bit too late. So the F-15 gets one of the MiG-23s, gets it in return though, so it will be out for a long time. F-111 coming in, and this is actually a pretty nice move by him, because my AA was reloading. The problem is just that he tried to cluster the infantry here and it didn't do anything. And now the T-80BV here got killed by an ATGM from the left. Even though, again, like, I have a Spetsnaz guy here with GSR recon. Why doesn't it see it? What the fuck? You know, especially coming back from like just having played Steel Division 44, Normandy 44. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I have never heard anybody complain that, you know, oh my god, Steel Division is so bad because you can see everything. Well, no, it's actually, you know, kind of part of the game that you can actually see stuff if you have recon literally looking at it. Like, hello? Conquest does get the LAV at least, but yeah, the TOW2 does kill another Tunguska. And I didn't even notice that because, you know, I obviously thought that the left-hand side would be clear because I have a GSR recon squad sitting here, but, well... fun fact, it isn't. It's Double Singer that don't misses the MiG-24, so I guess, yeah, that's the punishment for that. You know, that, I mean, doesn't even make any sense because it's not his fault. Recon is fucking useless in this game. MiG-24 shoots like its last rocket and then runs out of ammo. And I thought that I attack moved it close enough to the Stinger to kill it with the gun, but I actually didn't. Luckily though, the Double Stinger just proceeds to be completely garbage and miss everything. Finally gets a hit. And this MiG-24 was also like... Ah, I see. I thought it was close enough, but obviously that's the range of the ATGM and not of the anti-infantry rockets. And then now it gets another hit, but it's out of ammo, so yeah. Stinger actually performing horrible. Then the Mi-24 proceeds to like... Hilarious. 20 rockets unable to kill a two-man team. Yeah, damage in WARNO is totally fine. I mean, this was stunned down, but even then I would assume that 20 rockets would be able to kill a two-man team literally standing in the open. Like, bruh, what the fuck? Yeah, but the problem is because the T-80BVK was killed, I kind of was lacking a command. So I just decided to move up the infantry command from the back here and move it into the sector. Left-hand side, still nothing going on. Now no helicopter shenanigans on the right-hand side as well. Artillery has been kind of silent because there was nothing really that could shoot it. I moved it up further because I cleared this whole area, obviously, so it's safe. This is how it's firing at my 30mm. Decent idea, actually, and also he tries to strafe the command with the F-16AT, but I mean, the idea isn't bad. The problem is that he just dove into my AA net and died. Even though the F-16AT was like, this is his lifeline. If he already massively overinvested into air, but if you have already overinvested into air, you really have to make it count. Which is the whole problem, because making the air count in WARNO is very hard, because kind of the more expensive your bomber is, the worse it is, because it rarely will get its points back. That's why the MiG-21 is like the greatest bomber in this game, because it costs you like nothing and kills everything. Does get a command back into at least contest this sector, but I don't even particularly care about that, because at a +2 I will still be able to win without any issues. And there is more infantry also coming in, and my infantry here is fairly low, to be fair. Motor Circuit guy, I wanted to reposition them so they don't get artillery, but here they get into the tower, so that's obviously not the best because they will be spotted by everything. I wanted to click them behind the building, but that didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. And the Eagle here does actually pay off, because he tried to go in with an OH-58 command, and yeah, well, the Eagle killed it. So that was actually a very good investment. And yeah, here I tried to move it out without moving it out of the sector, but then it goes into the building again. Don't know why it did that. Maybe I clicked it there. Not sure. Eagle here, by the way, vetted up to max vet already. So, yeah, they did get a lot of value. This one here should have been moved up a little bit, I think, as well. So, 1003 here out of ammo on the right-hand side. Not out of ammo, it actually has vetted up twice already, so this also insane value gotten already. Superior RPO waiting for some resupplies. You can see they are coming in, because without the RPO launcher they are pretty much useless. This one still has munitions left, but those ones here don't. BMP3 moving forward very aggressively. It's double vet already also. What did it kill that it vetted up? What the hell? It's 100 points. And it's not being upvetted by the command. What the hell? Okay, that's wild. KTPV providing some nice fire support, also Concourse M coming in. Like, the Concourse M obviously not as useful in this case because there's like no heavy armor to kill, but it's just another ATGM carrier that will help prevent him from getting into the zone again, and that can duel his ATGM carriers. MTLB here dying. I think it was bringing in Rapira AT gun. Esprut, sorry, not Esprut, we don't have Rapiras in this deck. Another one is coming in here as some long-range fire support against the infantry itself. If he just unloads it and walks it towards me, so because then obviously the Concourse will be useless. Even though I think the Concourse hasn't died yet. Kiowa Warrior though finally dead. Oh no, I think there was another one on the left-hand flank. Yeah, MiG-23, MiG-29 came in. Sorry, together with the MiG-23 did get the Kiowa and the F-15. MiG-23 did die in return, but I mean that's a trade I'm willing to make. The BRM here died, so I knew that there was something coming on the left-hand side, which is why there is reinforcements already on the way. And yeah, he does contest the sector on the right again, and if he contests the sector here, that will at least stop the tick. But the problem is, like, I'm already in a draw territory, so if he wants to win, he will need to like get into somewhere again and tick me actually. Using the MiG-29 to strafe the stupid AGL Humvee that was killing my BTR, which was rather annoying. Also more BMPs coming into the right side. You can see you just have so many BMPs, and they are, I mean, I would say the BMP3s are fairly priced. How much are the BMP2 AGs actually? 65. And I mean, they might be a little bit too cheap. But overall, you just have so many of them, and as long as you keep them alive decently enough, you can get good value with them. And even in this case, he did get several kills with them with the planes, but as I said, he just invested so much into planes that he lacked everything on the ground, and his planes didn't perform like as well as they should have to actually repay themselves. And the big problem of 82nd Air Type is just that they lack good HE. So even though he killed all my fire support, he just didn't do anything to my infantry, and I was able to just walk into him. Does get the command in. He does smoke it in actually, so a nice micro from him, but the problem is that I have all the fire support I need here on the left. The helicopters that survived on the right hand side were repaired and also repositioned to the left hand side. On the right side I do find his command again, kill it off, and he surrenders. And that's all she wrote. So, yeah, what can I say? 82nd is still garbage. This person actually pretty good player, like rank 139, so not a noob or something, but 82nd is just pain. Overall, what performed well was, obviously the BMP2 AGs did do their job. Like, I mean, look at this one, getting 3 infantry squads, and then also Humvee is very good value. This one here didn't do too much, but it's still, I mean, I think this is honestly still good value because it's just the Humvee on its own costs, I think, as much as the BMP2 AG or even more. Yeah, well, his air spam just didn't work out at all. His seat did get a kill, and then I also lost 2 Tunguskas to like stupid ATGM snipes. But that's why I started investing heavily into the Strela 1003s, because I know that they can't be seated, and they're just so good against air spam, man. Because it's a Strela 10M, just better in every way, and 60% accuracy with even more range. They're just so insanely good. Like, look at this. This is fantastic. Separi RPO dominating the forests, as you might expect. Artillery did get a decent kill list, like, what is it, 2 mortars, a howitzer, a few infantry squads, and then also 2 TOW2s. And you also always have to remember TOW2s are not only shit because they're more expensive, but also because you only get 3 per card. And in a meta where you can spam even the high-end fire support, like in 27 YA, only having 3 of them per card is just it's just so painful. Yeah, it's really bad. And then also killing the command, also useful. RPO, as I said, dominating the forest, nothing you can do against that. The IFV actually didn't do that much because they were just bullied by air, um, but just not enough. BMP3 also getting an absolutely fantastic kill, so I guess this is the one that vetted up. Yeah, that's fair. They get a good amount of kills. And yeah, that's well, the Eagler getting the other seed plane low, and the LGB is just, I don't know. If you already play 82nd, just don't take the LGB. It's so garbage. It costs you an arm and a leg. You only get one per card, and it can't even kill tanks. It can barely kill IFVs. It can't even kill high HP infantry squads in cover. Like, you won't be able to kill a Spetsnaz, the 40-man squad, in a building. And I'm pretty sure the same applies for KDA. Like, you're playing 6 activation points for 2 bombers that don't do shit, and then just gets shot down. In this case, at least it wasn't the manpads, it wasn't my fighter, but overall the point still stands. It's hilariously inefficient. The LGBs that still one-shot tanks are fine, but the LGBs that don't, like, I'm sorry. If you take them and you think they're good, like, I don't know what to tell you. There's just something wrong with you, man. they just aren't. No. A helicopter usage from him wasn't even really noticeable. The Apache just died to the Eagler. Lemao, Maxed Eagler, wrecking his day. And that was just it. The Hamito here early on getting very good value with killing the Motorcircle, the BTR, and the Tunguska. And I mean, look at the LGB. Like, you might say, well, sure, this got okay value, but I mean, first of all, the BRM was just an accident because it got pushed out of cover by flames. And it was kind of lucky that it wasn't shot down by the Stratton earlier. But even then, like, all those kills together still don't pay for this bomber. And this is 1 per card bomber. Not 2 per card. Only 1 per card. This is just horrible. And then, I mean, compared to the Kiowa Warrior, for example, where you still get 2 per card, by the way, like, this got infinitely more value. So, I mean, obviously different kind of targets, because the Kiowa Warrior can only target vehicles, sure, but still, it's just insane how useless those are. And the Kiowa Warriors are very, very good. I don't know whether I have them in my 82nd deck, and honestly, I don't really even care that much because I won't be playing this garbage anytime soon. Maybe with the next update. Oh, just today, by the way, we had a new dev blog drop, and where they say that they're gonna nerf IFVs, which is very nice. They're gonna nerf the reload time on their ATGMs, and their anti-helicopter range is gonna go down. And I think they also said lowering the accuracy on the autocannon. I really hope they don't lower it just in general. I hope they just maybe lower the veterancy benefits they get or something. But overall, still good changes coming. So maybe then 82nd will be better, but we will see. The seed getting the Tor was a little bit annoying because I did micro it in time, but yeah, even then you saw that it literally didn't even matter. In the end, I still got all the kills I needed. F111 cluster was unironically like the best plane he had, which was also because I completely mismicroed and put all the stuff in one spot, and the TDB was already very low. And yeah, the Humvitos did perform well, actually. This one from the flank. I mean, sorry, but this was just bullshit. I have exceptional recon literally looking at it and I wasn't able to see it. Like, bruh, fuck me, man. And yeah, this is just the problem. 2 F-16 AT planes, just getting 2 BMP2s and that was it. Seed getting a Tunguska. Oh, I forgot to turn off the gun. That's a very noob mistake. And if you count them together, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expensive planes that all of them didn't pay themselves off even closely. Then the F111 did pay itself off, so maybe it paid for like 1 other plane maximum. And yeah, the other LGB. Oh no, I don't think it coded in the second LGB. Didn't do that. But still, that's just insane. And every one of those planes is like a minute's worth of income or even more, except for the F111. So there's like, with the F-15, there's like, what, 7 minutes of income that he just used on air? Yeah, that doesn't work. But yeah, either way, I have been talking about how useless 82nd air type is long enough. So yeah, don't play 82nd. Don't do it for now. Or unless if you have fun with it, obviously do it, but don't expect it to be good. Let's just put it like that. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed it. I think I will also do, by the way, a little bit more variety in the future. Might be more variety on the weekends. I still will keep Warner as my main game because it is my main game and I like it a lot. But especially with metas getting stale, sometimes it's good to try something different for once in a while. So maybe on the weekend I will upload like a Steel Division 2 video, or maybe another Steel Division Normandy 44 video, or a completely different video. We will see. Also, tell me in the comments what you think about it. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and hope to see you in the next one, which will be another Warner video. And until the next time, have a beautiful day, and bye bye.